Okay, let's rock and roll. Welcome. I have no idea who's watching this. I'm here in Gangnam. Obviously, you guys know I live in Korea. It's like Saturday evening, 6:30 p.m. I don't know how many Korean viewers are going to turn into this. 한국인들 몇 명 들어올 건지 잘 모르겠지만 오늘 방송은 거의 그냥 메인으로 영어로 할게요. So if you don't speak English, 한국인 구독자들이 영어 못하면 you can ask, leave a comment, or just try your best to understand, because I haven't had that much time to study these. So if I had a little bit more time to study these, I could explain it better in Korean. But I'll try my best. 오늘 이 해커톤이 끝나서 제가 이 프로젝트를 되게 그냥 간단히 봤어요. 그래서 막 그렇게 막 오래 공부를 못해서 혹 그냥 만약에 설명이 조금 부족하면 미리 죄송해요. 그래서 오늘 방송은 그냥 일부러 조금 영어로 더 하려고 해서 영어 못하면 댓글 남기면 제가 해석해 줄게요. So I'll still do the live translate. Okay. Big stuff in Solana. Oh man, I'm excited. This is very exciting. So I don't know if you guys were here for the last hackathon. It was like Solana Summer. They call it Solana Summer. I think the name was brilliant. They call it Solana Summer. And for my Korean subscribers, I dedicated a whole live broadcast for the last hackathon. It was a huge thing. I was very excited. It was exactly the same as now. It was very exciting. It was like one of the most exciting times to be in Solana, because they were announcing all the winners. People were super excited. They wanted to see what projects we're building, and obviously, back during the last hackathon, Solana wasn't as big of a name as it is now, right? So, for example, in Korea, when I started this channel in April, nobody knew Solana in Korea. Absolutely no one, right? And I told this story to my Korean subscribers so many times. I've told my Korean subscribers that when I started this channel, before I started this channel, I looked on YouTube to see what other Solana YouTubers were in the space. There were no Solana YouTubers. There were YouTubers, there were crypto YouTubers, but none of them were specifically started with the intent of covering the Solana ecosystem exclusively. So that was my goal from day one. Even before I started this channel, my sole focus was just Solana. My portfolio was 90% Solana. I told my Korean subscriber this so many times. I'm pretty sure they're sick of hearing about this, but my portfolio was 90% Solana, right? So I invested, pretty much all of my money in Solana, and I only covered Solana up until now. When my subscribers ask me about non-Solana projects, I do cover them because they're subscribers, but everything on my channel is geared towards Solana, right? So just that's what I like to do. I just like to see what's going on in Solana. I cover Solana news. I say stupid shit from time to time, but I'm just an idiot on YouTube, right? But I like Solana, so I've just been grinding it out for a long time, right? And growing my channel, and it's grown like crazy. When I started doing this, my first live broadcast was like 1 or 2 people. They had no idea what I was doing, probably because I was basically just staring at the Solana chart in most of my earlier broadcasts. But eventually, as the ecosystem kind of filled out, I did start covering like different projects and other things happening in Solana, and then obviously the viewership took off after that, right? So very interesting times, very interesting times for Solana. Very interesting times. But the thing that I wanted to cover today. Oh, 채영님, 안녕하세요. What's up, man? I'm glad you're here on a Saturday. 한국인들은 오늘 불토인데 또 말씀할게요. 불토인데 놀아야 되는데 왜 이 라이브 방송 보는지 잘 이해 못해요. I have no idea why there's people in Korea who are watching this. It's Saturday night here. But they want to see what the hackathon produced, I guess, right? 이 hackathon 어떤 프로젝트가 나왔는지 조금 일찍 보고 싶어서 궁금해서 아마 그것 때문에 아마 이 방송 보는 거예요. 근데 저도 똑같이 궁금해서 이 방송 하는 거예요. 같이 공부할 수 있으니까. So these are the hardcore Solana Korea people, the Koreans who are watching this now, the Koreans who watch my channel, the Koreans who come out when I do these late night broadcasts at like midnight. They show up and they ask me questions about this DeFi project. They ask me about Cyclos. They ask me about Soul Farm, now Tulip. They ask me about all sorts of random stuff, right, that they want to know about, right? And I've learned a lot from my subscribers as well, right? Because there's so many projects now that I just can't keep up with all the projects, right? Not even within DeFi, right? Because even DeFi exploded, right? So sometimes my subscribers know more about the projects, especially the NFT stuff going on. They know more about it than I do, right? It used to be like I pretty much like had everything covered because the ecosystem was so small, but now it's just crazy. It's just wild, crazy stuff happening all the time. Crazy stuff happening all the time. Oh, Soluna, 안녕하세요. Welcome, man. Welcome. 혹시 무슨 행사 있는 건가요? 행사 같은 거는 안 하는데 이미 끝났어요. 제가 그 golden ticket 그 주는데, so I'm giving the gold. I was giving out this golden ticket to my subscribers for the competition, for the trading. 그 대회 또 2차 그 시작할 거예요. 누가 물어봤지? 훈지윤님, 제가 이미 이 동영상 올렸을 때 발표했어요. 디스코드에 가장 빨리 발표했고, 솔루나님이 이미 받았어요. 티켓 하나 줬어요. 나눠줬어요. 솔루나님 하나 받았고, 그리고 다른 분들도 받았어요. I'm sorry. I handed out these. They went out so fast. 금방 팔렸어요, 이거. 금방 팔렸어. So it's too late for these tickets. Yeah, I mean, I try to reward my viewers by giving my viewers these tickets first. I announced this in my Discord, and then they just snatch these up, right? So they're gone, right? 네, 죄송합니다, 훈지윤님. 이 티켓 있으면 월요일에 그 Soulrise 미리 입장할 수 있어. 그리고 2주 동안 베이타 테스팅 기간 때 이 티켓 보유자들만 들어갈 수 있어. 네, 죄송해요. So the only people who are going to be able to get into Soulrise during dawn, the competition, you have to have one of these tickets. So if you don't have a ticket, you can't get in, right? So yeah, 죄송합니다. I try to tell my subscribers as fast as possible, right? As early as possible. Yeah. I mean, dude, I gave these golden tickets out before the Soulrise team even made this announcement. 제가 그날 새벽에 이거 발표했거든요. 근데 다다음 날 아니면 다음 날 Soulrise 팀이 트위터에 발표했어요. I got this shit so early, like super early, like way before everyone else. 다른 Solana 그 커뮤니티 중에서도 뭐 잘 아시겠지만, so like I love the guys over at Grape, right? I know Grape Protocol, those guys, right? I know some Korean people are in Grape. 한국인들도 이거 Grape 여기 아는 거 알아요. So I know there's Korean people 여기 한국인들 있는 거 알아요. So I know Grape got it. Whale's friend got it, right? Whale's friend got it. I'm not sure if I got it before Whale's friend, but I was one of the first people, right? But I have been with Soulrise from day one, right? 전 진짜 이거 Soulrise 프로젝트 생길 때 완전 그냥 첫날부터 지금까지 같이 동업해서, so I mean, you know, I guess they rewarded me for that, right? 저한테 그냥 특별히 일찍 준 거예요, right? And then I just gave it to you guys. But anyways, yeah. So if you don't have a golden ticket, I know they gave it to some other people, and they have some contests on Twitter. So if you want a golden ticket, you can try to enter some of these contests. 만약에 이 티켓 못 받았으면 Soulrise의 행사 중이에요. 그래서 다른 프로젝트에 이런 행사 중이니까 이런 거 참가하면 뭐 확률 그렇게 높지는 않은데 받을 수 있어요. So I mean, if you participate in these giveaways, maybe you can get a ticket, right? Maybe you can get a ticket, right? So just try to get a ticket, right? The thing with this was like it's kind of like the DeFi land keys, right? I've been saying this so many times on my live broadcast about the DeFi land keys. So DeFi land only allowed people with the keys to get into their beta, right? And I think for the longest time, they didn't have keys for the majority of people. So people who didn't have keys, they couldn't test this out, right? And 열쇠 없는 사람들이 계속 저희 라이브 방송에 계속 물어봤잖아요, right? I mean, people in my live broadcast, especially the Korean community, like definitely the Korean community really loves DeFi land, right? They love DeFi land for some reason, right? So they kept on asking me. They're like, dude, do you have a key? And I had to tell my subscribers that I don't have a key for DeFi land. And I even don't have my own DeFi land key, right? So there's no way I could put up a video for these guys, right? Because I wanted to get in there and like test things out. But they didn't have any keys. I just heard of like random, like just couple random people who got the keys and got in early. But I guess those lucky few were able to test out really early, right? But so I was like, if I actually get a ticket, like I want to at least, you know, give something to my subscribers, right? I don't know how many keys that DeFi land gave out, right? But you know, SoulRise is pretty generous with their tickets, in my opinion, right? DeFi land 열쇠 못 받은 분들 엄청 많을 것 같은데 SoulRise 같은 경우는 이 티켓 많이 나눠주고 있어요. 그래서 기회 많아요, right? DeFi land 같은 경우랑 비하면, right? And if you compare the amount of tickets compared to the keys that DeFi land gave out, in my opinion, I think SoulRise, they gave more tickets than DeFi land gave keys, right? And I still don't have a key, right? So I don't know if you still need a key to get in here. 아직도 이거 DeFi land 열쇠 필요하는지는 모르겠지만, yeah, I haven't been to the DeFi land page in a while, right? Maybe some people here have keys. 여기 우리 구독자들이 열쇠 있는지 잘 모르겠어. Maybe some of my viewers have keys, right? SoulRise staking 알고 싶어요. 네, 김창호님 그 SoulRise staking 그 거기 개발팀이랑 한 명 그 확인했는데 스테이킹이 그거 개발 중이래요. 그래서 나중에 이거 개발 스테이킹 가능할 거예요. So you will be able to stake your SoulRise, and that is definitely a good thing. It's going to put a lot of them out of circulation, so the supply is going to go down, and that's a good thing, right? In the long term, right? 그 긴 시간으로 보면 좋은 점이에요, right? In the long run, right? So yeah, I did see that today with Matt, right? 개발팀 한 명이 그거 얘기했어요, 디스코드에. 그 채널에 그거 말했어요. This is from the SoulRise Discord. Anyways, oh, Kim Sung-ho, you got it. DeFi land, DeFi gamification, good project. Yeah. I mean, dude, the Korean community is so into DeFi land, like it's crazy. This might be like the number one project that Koreans are paying attention to on Solana for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason, Koreans love this thing, right? That's what Koreans love, right? Like after doing these broadcasts for all of this time, there are certain things that Koreans love in Solana. Koreans love DeFi land. Koreans love Solana NFTs. That's what Koreans like. Koreans like Solana NFTs and DeFi land. And they like a couple other things. They like Star Atlas. Koreans like Star Atlas for some reason. They're super into Star Atlas. So they're into DeFi land, Star Atlas, and the last one is Aurora. Koreans are super into Aurora for some reason. And yeah. And I broke those projects on my channel like before everyone else, right? I was the first one to do it, right? Sorry, I'm bragging again. So if you're an English speaker and you watch this later and you're like, dude, is this guy bragging about uploading the first Aurora video and the first DeFi land video? Yes, I am bragging. And I'm going to keep on bragging about it, right? Because if you're a YouTuber, you want to be the first one to push out content, right? The livelihood of YouTubers depends on how fast you can push out your content before other people, right? Because that's what people are gonna be drawn to, right? When they search for a Rory, your video is gonna show up before their video because you pushed out the content first, right? So I do talk about this video all the time. I was the first person to upload a DeFi Land video and an Aurora video. I uploaded this video before any Aurora video ever popped up on YouTube. And then now when you search Aurora, there's like dozens of random Korean YouTubers who are posting Aurora videos, dozens of Korean posters, Korean YouTubers who are posting like DeFi Land videos, right? There's so many of these videos up, right? But I was the first. I was the first, the very first one, right? But anyways, yeah. So that's what I wanted to say about that. I want to get to ignition now. 제가 이 hackathon 이제 그 얘기 시작할게요. This is the thing that that I'm doing this broadcast for. So the hackathon concluded today. 오늘 hackathon이 그 마감이었고, just finished a couple hours ago. 몇 시간 전에 끝났고. So you can see the participants here. 거의 6,000명 참가했어요. So this means that there's going to be a lot of very interesting projects that come out of this, right? 그래서 그거를 해석하면 이제 이 참가자들이 프로젝트 만든 것 잘 지켜봐야 돼요. And you have to pay attention to these projects that come out of this because this is the next generation of Solana apps, right? The next generation of dApps are going to come out of this hackathon, right? 그래서 이 Solana ecosystem의 다음 시대 그 프로젝트들이 여기에 나올 거니까 you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. It's absolutely you must pay attention to this, right? 그래서 여기 보면 so if you don't know what's going to happen during this hackathon, when they choose the winners, 우승자들 선택할 때 they're going to have it's structured very similarly to the last hackathon, right? 그래서 그 마지막 hackathon처럼 거의 비슷하게 할 거예요, right? So it's like very similar to how they did it last time. They have like certain tracks, right? The way they did it last time was like this, right? So they have certain projects who sponsor prizes, their own prizes. They have a community choice award, and then they have like regional specific awards, right? 이거 지역 보상도 있고, 그래서 상품 되게 여러 가지 있어, right? So they had an East Asia track, and so then they had a DeFi track. 종류별이 되게 많아요, right? And of course, when I covered the last hackathon winners, I focused mostly on the DeFi projects, right? And I gave a lot of coverage to these guys, right? 특히 저는 DeFi 관심 많아서, so I did cover Zeta, I think it was options, right? Zeta was the options thing, and then the lending protocol, Solend, DeFi Land, everybody knows DeFi Land, and Switchboard, right? So I did cover Switchboard, right? And I made another Switchboard video recently. 최근에 또 Switchboard 동영상 올렸어요, right? But you can see here they have lots of different prizes, right? 이 상품이 되게 많아요. 여기 보면, right? They have an India track, they have Vietnam track, they have an Africa track. They got a whole bunch of stuff here, right? So I looked again here. It's very similar, right? They have the grand prize. 이거 이제 완전 1등 우승자이고, same thing, community choice, DeFi track, and then they have what is this? Gaming. So they now have a gaming track, Web 3.0 track. They've got a bunch of prizes, right? And they're focusing on NFTs again, right? So they have this digital art collectibles track. I don't know what they called it last time. I think they called it NFTs, right? Yeah. So that's really interesting how they redid this category, right? 이 종류를 옛날에는 NFT track으로 불렀는데, now they used to call this track the NFT track, and now they're calling it the digital art collectibles track. They got rid of the NFT like branding. That's very interesting. They don't call it NFTs anymore, right? So I don't know if Solana is starting to reorient their vision towards digital art. They don't call them NFTs anymore. That is very interesting to me. That is very interesting. 그거 이 이름 바뀐 것도 중요하다고 생각해요, 개인적으로. Right? They're moving beyond NFTs. So I think they're looking towards something else now, right? They're calling it something else. They're calling it digital art and collectibles. So that should tell you what the higher ups at Solana are trying to do in this space, right? 이제 그 Solana 위 사람들이 더 이상 NFT로 안 부르고 이거 디지털 미술로 이제 그 이름을 정해서 무슨 의미인지 잘 해봐야 돼요, right? Because that's what they're looking at, right? 그거를 이제 보는 거니까, so you should be doing the same thing, right? 투자자들은 똑같이 그런 쪽으로 이제 좀 봐야 돼요. So you gotta, if you're an investor, you should figure out why they did this. I have my own theory about what they're doing, but yeah. So and then they have a whole bunch of VCs, just like last time. So a lot of VCs paying attention to this, right? 그 VC 회사들이 엄청 집중하고 있어. I mean, they got Multicoin, Kyle's involved, Joe's involved, the Circle, Jeremy from Circle's involved, Mango's involved, bunch of people. Phantom is involved, even the Axie Infinity guys involved. I am very curious about the Axie Infinity guy. I think he wants to see what's going to happen in the Solana digital art space. 이 한국인들이 Axie Infinity 그 되게 좋아하는 거 알아요. I know Koreans are crazy about this shit, right? This Axie Infinity shit. So I think this guy Jeff, I think he wants to see what's happening in the Solana NFT space. 이 Axie Infinity 분이 솔라나 NFT 시장이 어떤지, 어떤 프로젝트 생기는지 궁금해서 이거 그 judging 할 것 같아요, right? He's going to be looking at the projects too, right? There's so many VCs involved, right? And then I saw some really interesting VCs. I saw oh yeah, Maddie's here, right? Matthew from Sino Global Capital. I saw this guy. Standard Chartered Ventures lead. This was the craziest thing. I saw Standard Chartered Ventures lead, right? And the VP at SC. The VP at SC is looking into the projects too. So what does that mean? Depending on what kind of projects come out of this, SC could get involved in Solana. And that is pretty crazy if you think about it. Right? I don't know if SC was was around during the last hackathon, but SC is involved, right? SC는 전 세계로 엄청 큰 은행이니까 이런 그 금융 쪽 그 회사들이 많이 보고 있어. All right? So you gotta wonder, like, who are these people who are watching the hackathon projects, right? They're gonna be sponsoring some of the good projects, right? 그래서 이 hackathon 우승자들 이제 발표될 때 이런 큰 완전 전 세계 그 큰 은행 같은 금융 회사들이 이제 그 backing 할 거니까, so you gotta pay attention, right? You gotta see what comes out, right? 이 hackathon에 어떤 project 나오는지 꼭 봐야 돼요. You gotta pay close attention, right? They have the SC right here. Even at Microsoft is involved, right? I forgot who the Microsoft guy was, though. Who was the Microsoft guy? I remember seeing that. Where's the Microsoft guy? Yeah, I don't know where is Microsoft. Hold on. Microsoft. I don't know, but I guess Microsoft is. Oh, here, Joe. Yeah, Joe from Microsoft is involved. I have no idea what Microsoft is doing, right? Looking at the projects, right? But yeah, I don't know what kind of projects they will be interested in. Probably like Web 3.0. Microsoft 같은 경우는 아마 Web 3.0 그런 어플 관심 많이 있을 것 같아요, right? If Microsoft is looking, that's probably what they're looking at. Web 3.0, that type of stuff, right? Because Microsoft knows that Web 2.0 or whatever, Web 3.0, they call it Web 3.0, I guess. Web 3.0 is developing, right? So even Microsoft wants to see what's going on in crypto, right? And that is very interesting too. 그것도 되게 신기해요, right? And Joe was the guy who I saw on Twitter. right? It was Joe's tweet thread that I was looking at, right? 이 Joe 분이 이 큰 thread 글 만들었는데 이 댓글 보고 이제 프로젝트를 한번 스캐닝했어요. So I looked at Joe's thread, and then I just went down the list, and I just picked out a couple projects that I thought were interesting, and then I'll cover those, and then I'll cover one more project at the end. It's this project called MetaBlocks. They reached out to me, right, and they have their own concept about how they think NFTs are going to evolve, and I looked into them, and then I'll tell you what I saw, right? 이 MetaBlocks NFT 프로젝트이 이 해커톤 이제 참가자인데 저한테 따로 쪽지를 보냈어. 그래서 물론 쪽지 따로 보냈으니까 커버해줘야 돼요. Right, so they reached out to me, so I will cover what these guys are doing as well at the end, right? But I want to get to the DeFi stuff first, right? 먼저 DeFi 프로젝트를 한번 볼게요, right? Because that's what I'm personally interested in, right? 개인적으로 저는 DeFi 프로젝트 가장 관심 많으니까 this is like a very tentative list of stuff that's going to come out. I have no idea what other projects are coming out. I'm just basing this on stuff that I saw on Twitter, right? This is just the tip of the iceberg. 그래서 나중에 이 해커톤 다 전체적으로 구경할 수 있을 거예요. 이거 투표할 때 다 각각으로 확인할 수 있을 거예요. 나중에 이 투표하면서. So later on, just like the last hackathon, we will be able to vote on our favorite projects, right? And you'll see every single project that submits their application, and you can see all the information about the prizes, right? Once they open up voting, right? And the voting schedule was, let me see what the voting schedule was. Here, October 18th at 9 a.m. So 2 days from now, it's the 16th in Korea. So in about 3 days. Yeah. 한 3일 뒤에 이제 투표할 수 있을 거예요. 그래서 이때 프로젝트 다 공개될 거고, 이 해커톤 관심 있는 분들은 꼭 이거 프로젝트 다 하나씩 공부하고 어떤 프로젝트이 포텐셜 있는지 그거 다 개인으로 파악하고 꼭 알아봐요. So look into the projects that come out when the voting starts, and take a look at the projects, right? And if you like the project, you should contact them and work with them, right? It's a really good opportunity to help out some of these early projects, right? 이 프로젝트를 나중에 알게 되면 관심 생기면 미리 먼저 연락해요. 그 개발팀한테 연락하고 나는 그 SeoulsGotSOL의 방송 한번 보고 이 프로젝트에 관심 생겼는데 뭐 어떻게 도와주고 싶은지. So if you want to get involved in Solana, these hackathons are amazing opportunities. 이 hackathon에 새 프로젝트를 많이 생길 거니까 this is a good chance. 좋은 기회예요. So you can get involved with some Solana projects. 이제 Solana 프로젝트를 도와줄 수 있어. 뭐 나중에 이 크립토 쪽에 일하고 싶으면 뭐 취업도 가능하고 whatever skills you have 뭐 다 개인 자기 경력 있고 다 이제 뭐 노하우 있으니까 뭐 알아서 잘 신청해요. 다 알아서 잘 신청해요. So get involved with Solana, right? That's how our community is going to grow, right? 결국은 뭐 투자자들도 중요하지만 이런 프로젝트를 지원해 주는 것도 엄청 중요해요. So help out in any way you can. I highly recommend it, right? That's how I got involved in SoulRise. 저도 SoulRise 같이 동업하게 된 것도 제가 먼저 동영상 올려주고 계속 홍보해 주니까 조금 친해졌어, right? But that I did all the initial stuff myself. 제가 먼저 연락한 거예요. Right, 그 팀한테. So if you want to get involved, don't just sit there, and like them on Twitter. Contact them, right? Contact them on Discord. Contact them on Twitter. Whatever it takes, and get involved. That's what I recommend, right? So as soon as these projects are announced here, right, we can look at them, right? So let's start with this one. I'll start with this one. I'm just gonna go left to right here. They're not in any order. 와우, 갓 소울형 정부는 한국 정부 돌기 시작하는 시간 대비 2달 정도 빠른 것 같아요. Yeah, I mean, dude, that I obviously, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna get my content out there first, right? 저희 채널에 가장 빨리 그 내용 알려줘야 돼요, right? That's there's no competition. I have zero competition on YouTube. YouTube에 한국인 크립토 유튜버들 중에서도 외국인 크립토 유튜버 중에서도 저희 채널이 가장 빨라요. So I'm very proud of that. Right? It's a fact. Right? You whatever you want to say. If you're a hater, I don't care. Right? 저희 채널 싫어하는 사람이면 too bad. Right? I'm just better than you. 당신보다 제가 이 중요한 내용 가장 잘 전달해주고 가장 빨리 전달해주니까 whatever. I don't care. Literally Seoul Korean Yeah, of course, man. Literally. 당연하죠. So this is the first thing that I saw. This was kind of interesting. So this is kind of like a big data thing. This is more, it's not like a DeFi thing per se. 이거 완전 DeFi 아니고, well, I'll just show you the video first. 먼저 동영상 보여줄게요. Okay. So he's saying this is like it's a thing that has to do with composability, right? So I think this is supposed to help the builders on Solana build their protocols, right? It's supposed to build their protocols, right? So this doesn't seem very exciting. It's not like a super exciting DeFi thing or anything like that, but it is very important for the developer side of things. So if you're a developer, this is obviously something you're going to be looking at. 만약에 개발자이면 이런 프로젝트를 꼭 확인해야 돼요. I have no idea how many developers watch my channel. I don't think any developers watch it, but just in case. So this is kind of like a programming I guess thing or library or something like that, right? So yeah, so look into this if you're a programmer or if you're a developer, right? 개발자이면 check this out, right? This is very technical. I don't know 100% about what's going on with this, but all I know is that it helps developers. So you should look into it if you're a developer. 저는 개발자 아니니까 이런 전문 개발 뭐 이런 거 개념 같은 거 막 그렇게 잘 설명을 못 해주는데 if you're a developer, you probably know more about this than I do. So look at it, right? developer이면 그 개발자이면 이거 한번 보세요, right? So that's that. I'm pretty sure it has to do with composability. 이 결합성에 대한 그 project인 것 같아요. So it will help these protocols work together or you know interface with each other, right? That's what I think this is, right? So that is that. And then here's one thing that I saw called Springboard Finance. Springboard Finance. And if you look on their Twitter, it says the DAO that automated the growth of your crypto assets through decentralized strategies. So this is a DAO project. So I know DAOs are the big thing in crypto these days, right? 요즘 crypto trend 모르면 this DAO thing is a big thing. This DAO thing, right? So if you don't know what a DAO is, I've talked about DAOs many times before. 한국인들 아직 DAO 모르면 탈중앙화 자치 조직이에요. Right? So it's a way for people, it's a way for the community to have an interest in the project, right? 이 커뮤니티에 이제 투표하고 커뮤니티가 관리할 수 있기 위해 그런 프로토콜이에요. That's what a DAO is, right? So here, a DAO where you can invest into adults, and that is very interesting. They call it adult. It is not a vault. DeFi 잘 아는 분들 있으면 the traditional vault, they call it a vault. But here's their take on it. They call it adult. Decentralized vault governed by the community. So I think it's like a community version of a vault. Vault 개념이랑 비슷한데 약간 커뮤니티 조금 더 신경 쓰는 것 같아요. 그냥 쉽게 설명하면, right? So I guess that's the basic idea. And they do have a YouTube video. I'll just take a quick look at this. So when I saw this video, it kind of reminded me of some of the dashboard protocols, right? 뭐 예를 들면 뭐 step처럼 뭐 symmetry처럼 거기에 portfolio 볼 수 있고. But this is taking all the different protocols vaults, right? I think this is like all the protocols have their own vaults, right? So Mercurial has a vault, right? Mercurial has a vault. I guess Mango has a vault. Parrot probably has their vaults, right? So many DeFi projects have their vaults. So I guess they want to integrate with all of their vaults, right? So it says here, the protocol allows DeFi users to diversify their investments across the entire ecosystem. So they're going to be looking at all the DeFi vaults, and they want to use all those vaults, but they also want to have adult version of it, right? So these vaults are going to take from these other vaults, and I guess they're going to be governed by the community, right? So I don't know if that's a huge revolutionary idea. 뭐 그렇게 큰 뭐 변함이나 뭐 큰 아이디어인지 잘 모르겠지만 that's what they're trying to do. I guess that's what they're trying to do, right? Passionate about open source and community projects. We wanted to build something that will contribute to the future of the network. Decentralized investment strategies. So I guess it's part of their program or part of their vision to promote a decentralized investment strategy, right? Which is driven by the community, right? 이 탈중앙화 투자 전략 같은 거를 DAO에 이제 다 voting 할 거예요. So whatever strategies they choose will be governed by the DAO, right? So right here it says we aim to become a DAO, relying on our power users to come up with new strategies, and these will be the adults. So 가장 중요한 문장은 이거예요, right here. 이거를 집중해야 돼요, right? So I guess this is the key idea for Springboard, right? I think these guys are going to overlap with a lot of other protocols, right? Anything that has to do with investment protocols, yeah, it's gonna overlap a little bit with those guys. 조금 겹치긴 겹칠 거예요. right? 왜냐하면 Soulrise 같은 경우도 뭐 조금 더 다른 역할이지만 조금 겹치긴 겹쳐요, right? This is going to be more community, whereas in Soulrise, individual investors have to choose, right? But then even individual investors are going to have access to index funds. 나중에 Soulrise에서도 그 fund of funds, index funds도 다 있을 거니까, all these kind of protocols, these types of protocols will be competing with each other in one way or another, right? 어떻게 보면 이런 DeFi에는 어쩔 수 없어요. 이런 거 겹치긴 겹쳐요. 조금 다, right? 다 겹치긴 겹쳐요, right? So that is their idea, right? That is their idea, Springboard Finance. And I did see a lot of people following them already. 여기에 follow하는 사람들도 되게 많아요, right? So Jet Solend is following them. Matty is Matty follows everyone though, right? From Sino. 진짜 이거 트위터 보면 Matty는 그냥 무조건 그냥 follow해요. Solana이랑 관련 분 있으면 Matthew는 그냥 무조건 follow해요. So he really wants to know what's going on, right? 얘는 진짜 궁금한 것 같아요. He always wants to know what's happening in Solana, right? He's kind of like me. 저랑 비슷해요, right? But yeah, there are some protocols that are following them, right? So they might be advising them. I have no idea, right? Anytime you see protocols following each other, there's a good chance they are supporting each other. Yeah, 트위터에 이런 그 follow하는 거 보면 서로 이제 지원해 주는 거 확률이 높아요, right? 뭐 여기에 트위터에 발표 안 해도 뭐 동업하게 됐다고 그 발표 안 해도 they're definitely, I mean, at least they're keeping an eye on them, right? 일단 지켜보고 있어요. 이렇게 follow하는 경우 보면, right? So I don't know if they're following to see if they're going to be competitors. 나중에 경쟁자 될 것 같아서 follow하는지 모르고 같이 동업하려고 하는지 저도 몰라요, right? I have no idea why they're following each other, but they are followed by some people already, right? So that's Springboard, and then now I'm gonna look at Vibe. So I did look at Vibe here. So this is another big data thing, right? And this is a straight up big data project, right? Because this takes data from Solana, and then it allows people to use this data in whatever they need, in whatever way they see fit, right? Motivated us to pilot and focus on a middleware solution to build out a data network with the goal of allowing our users to seamlessly access data on Solana. So this is a kind of big data thing. If you look at this video here, 이 동영상 보면 yeah, I mean, it can visualize the data. So they're looking at the data from parent and they're analyzing that data. 그거 분석 중이고, right? Yeah. So I mean, this is more towards the developer side of things, or if you're involved with the different protocol and you need this kind of data in a convenient way, I guess. 만약에 개발자이면 이런 프로젝트 관심이 있을 것 같아요. It's probably more of like a developer thing, right? I don't know how many, this is more of a back-end project. Front end 말고 이건 조금 더 back-end이에요. So it looks more of like something that's a back-end project. I don't think it's geared towards front-end users, right? But it might be something you should look into if you like these kinds of things, right? If you want to help out this team, 이 team 도와주고 싶으면 you should get involved with them, right? You will get rewarded one way or the other. 뭐 이거 뭐 DeFi여서 일반 투자자들이 막 투자 안 해도 충분히 돈 벌 수 있어. 이런 프로젝트에 일해도, right? So get involved with these guys if this is what you like to do, right? Web 3.0 dApps, supposed to be supporting Web 3.0 dApps, right? I don't know exactly how different protocols are going to use this, but I guess it's going to support them, right? What does it say here? Refine the user experience and functionality for our Explorer and Index Manager. Okay, so there's going to be an Explorer, 데이터를 찾을 수 있을 거고, 분석할 수 있을 거고, Index Manager, you'll be able to index the data, I guess, right? We plan to implement our token. Token 나오긴 나올 거네요. So there will be a token. There will be a Vibe token. And what will it do? Create incentive and reward structures for indexers. Okay, so the people who collect and index and manage the data, they will be rewarded, right? Thanks to this token. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. They haven't really given details, but I guess they do plan on releasing a token, right? 나중에 token 나오긴 나올 거예요, right? So if you think, so you have to view it from I guess this way. If you think they're going to build a useful program that can analyze data and people will be incentivized to maintain, superior data structures or whatever, or keep reliable data, this might be something you should invest in, right? 나중에 이 프로젝트이 좋은 빅 데이터 프로젝트 되고 그런 인센티브를 잘 만들고 yeah, if they do it, 뭐 그렇게 나중에 이 프로젝트 개발되면 maybe you should get the Vibe token, right? This is so early. I mean, as I just saw this like for 1 or 2 hours, right? So I don't know much beyond what I just scanned over here. So you should look more into these kinds of projects that I'm talking about if you're interested in, right? 이건 진짜 this is the same day that they announced that they submitted, right? 이거 이 해커톤 신청했다고 당일 발표니까 엄청 일찍이에요. This is just super early. There's not a lot of information that's out on them. It's just this basic stuff here, right? So you should look into them, right? Allows users to access, index, and monetize data. Yeah, it's like a big data thing, right? Data programming 것 같아요, right? So yeah, the thing that I said here, you can create graphs and things like that. Well, data, well, 뭐 사용할 수 있고 뭐 yeah. So whatever, right? Look into these guys. This seems pretty interesting. I think people are following them. They have quite a few followers already. Atrix, Symmetry is following them. It makes sense that Symmetry would follow them. Symmetry가 그 vibe follow하는 거 이해해요. Especially projects like Symmetry, right? Because Symmetry is they have indices, right? So they're going to want to see the data if they can come up with some reliable data and find some unique insights into the data. Symmetry is definitely going to be working with Vibe, right? 쉽게 설명하면 이런 index protocol들은 they want to see what's in the data, right? If they can see some interesting things in the data, 그 data 중에 뭐 중요한 그 정보 같은 거 얻을 수 있으면 이런 프로젝트 있어 그거를 이제 지원해 줄 거예요. 이런 프로토콜에 찾을 수 있을 거예요. 그런 data. So if Vibe, allows the Symmetry team to get some interesting insights into their data, they're going to be working together 100%. Symmetry가 100% 이 Vibe project, 이 개발자 팀들이랑 동업하게 될 거예요, right? That's what's going to happen, right? That's how you should see this, these kinds of programs. 이런 프로젝트는 그렇게 봐야 돼요, right? And then of course, since they have a token, 물론 우리 일반 투자자들은 나중에 토ken 나올 거니까, if this program or if this project does well, people like you and me, 우리처럼 투자자들이 투자할 수 있긴 있어요, 나중에, right? So that's Vibe, right? And I guess that is pretty interesting, right? Yeah, Serum is following them. They've got a lot of followers, right? Chris is following them, right? They've got a lot of people following them, right? So that's Vibe. That's interesting, right? Lil X, what's up, man? I guess you're interested in the hackathon. I already talked about a couple of the projects, man. But welcome back, man. I'm glad you're here. So let's go to Fluidity. Here's another thing that's coming out of the hackathon, right? 이 Fluidity도 나오는데, this is another kind of weird DeFi thing, right? 이건 DeFi 이거 superpowering cryptocurrency so that they reward you with yield when you use them. This was really weird. This is really interesting. 되게 희한해요, 이 project은. So I was looking into these guys. So the basic idea, yield generating protocol for people who won't leave their money idle. Fluidity rewards people when they use their money, right? So 사람들이 이 토ken 같은 거를 사용하면 상품 보상 받을 수 있어. Fluidity exposes the users to DeFi without requiring them to leave their money idle to generate interest. Fluidity takes tokens and wraps them, stores them in a lending protocol. The interest is the prize pool, which can be won by anyone who spends and transfers the token. So the basic idea here is that you just use your tokens normally, right? Whatever you want to put them in a farm, or you want to put them in an LP, 유동성풀에 넣던가 아니면 그냥 거래하던가, whatever you do with your tokens, you just do it with your tokens. And when you use them, you get paid. 돈 벌어요, 이 token 사용할 때. But if you're wondering how does that work, there's a pool. 이 pool이 있을 거예요, right? So there's a pool, and the pool is gonna have all of the yield or the interest that's generated by the people who put their tokens in that pool, and then I guess certain people are going to win that money. People are going to win that money. And I guess it's the similar basic idea as hedgehog. That's what I got from it. It's kind of like hedgehog, right? 옛날에 제가 hedgehog에 there's a no loss pool on hedgehog, right? I talked about that. 그 hedgehog에 그 no loss pool 그거 있다고 말씀했어요, 옛날에. 근데 it's only certain people who are going to win that prize pool money, right? Not everyone's going to win that prize pool money, right? So I think that's the same basic idea as the no loss prize pool, but instead of a betting market, it's just going to be you have to use your money. You have to use your money. That's what I got from this, and that is kind of interesting. That is kind of interesting, right? I think it's the same basic idea, right, as the no loss pool on hedgehog, right? I don't know exactly how they're going to pull it off, right? I have to look more into them, right? But I think it's the same basic idea, right? Each time you spend or trade a fluid asset, you get the chance to win the protocol's prize pool. Similar to a no-loss lottery, by using fluid assets, you are exposed to the yield generation of the protocol. There. So it's very interesting. They take that same basic concept from Hedgehog's no-loss competitions, and then they just do it with your coins, and then they generate yield off the coins that you put into their pool. 그래서 똑같이 hedgehog의 no loss pool에 이자 농사를 번 거를 이제 한두 명이 몇 명만 그 보상을 받을 수 있는 것처럼 똑같이 하는 거예요. So fluidity is doing the same thing, just with money. 근데 이 hedgehog 같은 prize pool, no loss prize pool 같은 경우는, so with hedgehog, you gotta change your USDC for these tokens, right? These hedgehog tokens, and then you can distribute the tokens in these different markets, right? And then you can bet, right? 이런 이제 그 게임 토큰으로 바뀌고 거기에 풀에 들어가서 이제 그 내기할 수 있는데 예측 시장이니까 instead of that, you're gonna get money. You're gonna use that money and you're gonna put it into a pool. So there's no loss involved because the protocol will be generating yield. 그 프로토콜 그 풀에 유동성 풀에 이자가 들어올 거니까 risk가 없어요. There's no risk. So you won't lose money, but you might be able to win money, right? So not everyone's going to win money, but some people are going to win money, right? For putting their money in here and using your money, I guess, right? I don't know exactly how this is going to work 100%. Users wrap their token and receive fluid versions. Fluidity invest the assets prize pool. When used, they can. Oh, okay. So I see here. So in hedgehog, you get a game token. All right, you get a hedgehog game token, and then you use those tokens, and then you can win. But here, they give you a wrapped version, and then you use those wrapped tokens in whatever, right? Well, you can put them in a Radium LP pool or whatever and do the same thing. You use it like a normal coin. And then when you do, you'll be rewarded for it because of, okay, now I see how it works. 그 방법이네요, right? You got a wrap version, you use it in whatever way you want to, and then you'll get money from it, right? I don't know if this is like Terra Luna. I don't know if Terra Luna is doing a similar thing. 다른 분이 우리 구독자들이 잘 알면 그 Terra Luna 팀이 약간 비슷한 개념 있는 걸로 알고 있어요. I don't know if Terra Luna, the Luna Terra team is doing something similar to this, but I'm not sure. I don't know if they're trying to compete with Luna Terra, but yeah, I don't know. But I guess this is fluidity, right? So yeah, that was pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. 푸른 아시아, 솔라나 사랑해요. Oh, 푸른 아시아님, we all love Solana. That's why we're here, right? We're all here because we love Solana, right? So this is an interesting concept. This is an interesting concept, right? 이거 조금 희한한 프로젝트예요, 이거, right? So pretty interesting. Yeah, pretty interesting thing to come out of the hackathon. If you are interested, look into them, right? And then they have this other thing called Chain Crunch, which is a dashboard type thing, right? I guess, right? I get the same kind of feeling as that other program, that other data one. I forgot what the name of that other one was, but 그 다른 data project이랑 비슷한 것 같아요. The one that Symmetry was following, right? Who was Symmetry following? Chain Crunch seems very similar. Oh, Vibe, yeah, Vibe. I got the same kind of feeling from Vibe as these guys, right? I think Chain Crunch is similar too. Oh yeah, on-chain data. Yeah, this is an on-chain data protocol, right? It's kind of like CryptoQuant. I think everybody here knows CryptoQuant, right? I guess they're doing the same thing for Solana. I think they're doing the same thing for Solana. 그래서 I know the guy from CryptoQuant. I saw him on Twitter. His name is like Key something, right? What was his name? Oh, Chugiyoung. Yeah, his name. He's Korean. Obviously, I should know his name. I forgot his name. Sorry. But he does his BTC on-chain stuff, right? This big data stuff at CryptoQuant, but he does it with BTC. I don't know what else he does it, what other chains he does this for, right? But these guys want to do the same thing. Hold on. These guys want to do the same thing with Solana. They want to do the same thing with Solana right here, on-chain data for Solana. That is very interesting. I don't know if there's something similar to Chain Crunch already being developed. 다른 이런 그 on-chain protocol, on-chain data 그 분석 그 프로토콜이 그 개발 중인지 잘 모르겠지만, it's very interesting. It's very interesting because they're doing the same thing for Solana that Chugiyoung was doing for BTC at CryptoQuant, right? So if Solana continues to grow, this kind of on-chain data will be very valuable. Right? Because think about all the protocols, right? Think about all the protocols that will be developing on Solana, right? And they're going to want to get some data and get some, valuable information from this data, right? And they're going to need someone like Chain Crunch. That is very interesting too, right? I don't remember if anything like, I think maybe a couple projects were similar to this that came out of the last hackathon. 그 마지막 hackathon에 이런 on-chain data program 그 프로젝트이 개발 중이었던 것 같은데, Chain Crunch처럼은 이렇게 많이 개발되는지는 잘 모르겠어요. Right? So I don't know how many competitors have already shipped their products that are competing with Chain Crunch, but definitely you should be keeping up with Chain Crunch, right? Definitely you should be keeping up with Chain Crunch if you're into this kind of on-chain data stuff, right? Again, this might be more for the protocols or developers who are interested in this type of stuff. I don't even know if we can invest in this. 이거 개발자들이랑 이제 프로젝트들이 조금 더 관심이 있을 것 같고, 우리 일반인 그냥 투자자들이 이 체인 크런치에 투자할 수 있는지는 잘 모르겠어. I don't know if they're gonna have a token, right? But look into these guys if this is what you're into, right? This is another hackathon thing, right? 얘네들도 hackathon에 나왔으니까 관심 있으면, yeah, check them out. 보세요, right? Check them out if you're interested, right? Streamflow. Okay, so I only have a couple more projects left. Yeah, I only have a couple more. So Streamflow is interesting. This is a DeFi thing, kind of. Streamflow is already followed by a bunch of people. There's a lot of people who are following Streamflow. So they seem to have already been in contact with a lot of people in Solana. 이 Solana 이코시스템에 이미 다른 분들이랑 많이 그 연결했나 봐요, 얘네들이. 다른 분들이랑 얘기 중인 것 같아요. Because they've been around for a little bit, right? 5월부터 이 프로젝트가 나왔으니까. So the basic idea of Streamflow is they're going to find a way to distribute value in the networks. 그냥 쉽게 설명하면 you're going to have a lot of projects, and the way they run their projects is going to be very different across all projects. 이 Solana 이코시스템이 계속 커지도록 프로젝트마다 이 governance 그 이제 투표 DAO 같은 거 엄청 다양할 거예요. Every project's gonna have kind of a different way of distributing the value of, you know, among the organization and contributors. 그래서 그 가치를 어떻게 나눌 건지 그 문제를 해결하려고 하는 거예요. So they're trying to solve that problem by coming up with their protocol called Streamflow Finance, right? And I did look at this video here. They're going to come up with these types of things to secure or improve value across this protocol by doing things like token vesting, right? So 이런 역할이 있을 거니까 예를 들면 token vesting 같은 경우는 it's going to help secure the value, right, in the protocol, right? If you do something like token vesting. So token vesting, they will lock up the tokens for X amount of years, and it will guarantee the value of that token to a certain degree. 이 토큰을 기간을 딱 정하고 그동안 그 토ken 거래를 못 할 거예요. It's not going to be available, right? It's not going to be circulating. 시장에 없을 거예요. 그래서 it's going to be locked up, right? 그래서 이 lockup 되면 it's going to bring a little bit of value to whatever, you know, that project is, right? So it's made of composable and mutually compatible tools. So projects who want to come up with an efficient way, right, to distribute value, they will probably be using Streamflow, right? 다른 프로젝트들이 이 Streamflow 사용할 수 있고, they might use Streamflow, right? They might use Streamflow, right? But that's pretty interesting. And then stream payments. 이 stream payments도 있을 거예요, right? Stream payments, I don't know much about stream payments. I didn't look too much into stream payments, but it's just going to be one tool. Token vesting 하고 stream payments 뭐 여러 가지 있을 거예요, right? So you should look into all the different things that they want to do. Multi-signature treasury, bulk token distributor, token vesting service. So this is all has to do with like tokenomics type stuff, right? 이 토ken 경제 관리 같은 거예요, 한마디로, right? So yeah, and it's going to be what is it? With the power of DeFi, deposit liquidity can be put to earn interest via lending protocol or yield farming. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So you should look into these guys if you're interested in this type of stuff, right? So that's Streamflow. Yeah, there's a lot of people following them, right? And then Malik protocol, no code flowcharts to split money around the DeFi ecosystem. This is super early. 이거 완전 그냥 일찍이고, I don't know much about them, but money allocation protocol. Let me take a look at this real quick. I don't know much about these guys. I just found them. Oh, okay. Okay. So, okay, I get the basic idea. So, Malik protocol, yeah, I can see. Create no code flowcharts to split money around the DeFi ecosystem. So, you can see the money flow, I guess, of where you're sending money. 이제 이 돈을 보낼 때 이 이 뭐지 그림으로 볼 수 있어요. 어떻게 가는지 돈이, right? So I guess it's a very simple protocol. It's a very simple protocol, right? Okay. So that's Malik protocol. I think this is a one-man deal. He looks like he's doing this all by himself, so I respect that, right? I don't know who he is. Later, if this Malik protocol dev sees this video, good work. Congratulations for your submission or getting through this thing. Hopefully, you'll do well, man. I have no idea who you are, but hope you do well. 네, 행운 비워요, right? So that's Malik. Okay, this seems pretty straightforward. And the last one. We'll look at the last one. 마지막 볼게요. Factor in development. Venmo-like invoices on Solana. This is another weird thing that came out of the hackathon, right? It's like a payment thing. 돈 보낼 때 약간 그런 project이에요. It has to do with like payments, right? Kind of like Venmo, PayPal. PayPal하고 Venmo랑 비슷한 역할인 것 같아요, 이거, right? But there's always things like this that come out of the hackathon. I remember the last hackathon, 마지막 hackathon에서도 이런 payment 그 protocol이 많이 나왔어요. There were things like this that came out of the last hackathon. I don't know what happened to most of them. 뭐 대부분 어떻게 되는지 잘 모르겠지만, yeah. So I guess these guys were building, right? But they announced, and I followed them, right? 얘네들이 발표했으니까 제가 일단 follow했어요, right? Just because they announced, right? Because I support all Solana projects. Solana project은 다 제가 지원해요. I support all of them, right? No matter how early you are or how small you are, 뭐 아무리 그 초반이어도 적어도, I will give you coverage. Yeah, I will give you coverage. I don't discriminate, right? 차별 안 해요, 저는, right? Whatever it is, if you're a decent project, I'll cover it. Okay, and then the last project, the very last one, 제일 마지막으로 할게요. So these guys, I said, reached out to me. The basic idea with meta blocks is right now you buy the NFT and then that's it, right? You have your NFT, right? 지금 NFT 시장은 NFT 구매하면 끝이에요. Now you have your NFT and that's it. 이제 마지막이에요, right? These guys want to make upgradable NFTs. So you have an NFT and then you can change out things in your NFT depending on what you do, like what you have, right? So you can add new traits. 이 NFT 다른 특징으로 바뀔 수 있고, and then it can change over time. The old NFT is burnt or held in a contract for a later release. 그 전 NFT가 그냥 그 태우고 아니면 나중에 뭐 다시 바뀔 수 있고 원래 상태로, right? And then here's a use case. This is really quirky stuff. 되게 희한해요 이런 거. Use case. Stickers. You can use them in as stickers in your Telegram, right? Telegram에 이렇게 스티커식으로 보낼 수 있고. Auto-generated visual content like tweets. Auto-generate visuals for any text input. 그래서 뭐 글 쓸 때 이 NFT가 dynamic. It's going to be like dynamic. It's going to change, right? It's going to create some picture here. 그림이 생길 거예요, right? Depending on what you're tweeting. 뭐 트윗하는 것 따라서, right? Auto-generated podcasts, text to speech. So you have text and then it's going to change it to audio and then your NFT is going to be like interacting with it. NFT가 그거를 같이 뭐 행동하고. And then gaming SDKs. Maybe they'll use it in gaming, right? I don't know. 게임에서도 뭐 사용할 수 있다고 사용하고 싶다고 뭐 그런 vision이 있어, right? And they have this video here on YouTube. This guy reached out to me. Yeah. So this guy explains this in more detail here. So you can look through this video here. I don't have time to look through the whole thing, right? But if you're interested in this NFT stuff, you should definitely look into them, right? Yeah. So that's a shout out to MetaBlocks. Thank you guys for again reaching out to me, giving you a shout out here. Hopefully, some Korean viewers find this concept interesting and they either invest in you or they get in contact with you, right? 한국인 투자자들이 이런 개념, NFT 개념 뭐 관심 있으면 연락해요. Give these guys a message, send these guys a message, and get in touch, right? 연락해요. 관심 있으면. Okay. So those are just a couple of things that I saw. I mean, this is so early. I mean, this is like nothing. This is like nothing. This is just random stuff that I picked up on Twitter. 이건 진짜 아무것도 아니고 그냥 오늘 그냥 트위터 앱 그냥 본 거고. 나중에 제가 말한 대로 발표하면 when they announce the whole, you know, all of the submissions, 다 확인할 수 있을 거다. You'll be able to see all the other projects that came out of the hackathon. It should be very interesting stuff. All right, so that is it. Keep your eyes peeled for sure. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to what comes out in the next couple of days with the hackathon, and then I'll probably do another several more videos on the hackathon because there's going to be some important stuff coming out of them, right? 나중에 hackathon 그 우승자들이 나올 때 그리고 제가 따로 조사 중일 때 그 다 투표할 때 투표 중일 때 또 공부할 거고, and I'll just choose some things that I like personally. 제가 개인적으로 좋아하는 프로그램 있으면 well, I'll just choose some of them that I like. You should do your own research. 다 개인으로 공부하고 네, 좋은 프로젝트 관심 생기면 네, 알아봐요. You do your own research. Always do your own research. Find stuff that you like and do what you got to do, right? And then you're going to see some very exciting projects come out of this, right? So that was just the first look. This is a super early look. Super early look, right? Okay. So if there's no other questions, that's just what I wanted to focus on today. Just purely on the hackathon, right? 오늘은 그냥 hackathon만 집중하고 싶어서 다른 질문이 없으면 we'll finish it here. Saturday night. Enjoy your evening. 다 좋은 밤 보내세요. Have a great evening. Pay attention to the hackathon again, and I will see you guys next time. 다음에 봬요. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, everyone.